Today we are sitting down with David Procter and Alex Nino. We are talking all about wireless revolution in condition monitoring. Hi, David and Alex.
Good morning.
Hi. Well, before we start, do you guys want to jump in and tell the audience a little bit more about yourselves?
Sure. So my name is David Procter. I am the product manager at Sensoteq for our entire product range. My background is in both engineering and data science in a number of different fields, namely automotive, security, and vibration analysis.
Again, everybody, good morning. My name is Alex Nino. I am from Ludeca, Inc. here in Miami, Florida. I'm an electrical engineer by trade, been in the condition monitoring industry for over 21 years. I am the national product manager for Sensoteq, as well as carry many other titles here at Ludeca. So looking forward to this chat.
Thank you both. To kick things off today, what is driving the wireless revolution in condition monitoring?
David, I'll go ahead and answer this one first. To me, here in the U.S. market and what I've seen actually internationally, what's driving this are two steps. First and foremost, the industry's asking for this. This whole IoT that started quite many years ago, and David was chiming in a little bit, but we're seeing all those baby boomers who actually were really great personnel who took the time to educate themselves and be masters of their own forte in vibration analysis. We're seeing a lot of them retiring. What other option does an industry have to keep their assets being monitored is wireless vibration technology, right? They need this stuff to happen. But the industry is also asking for this. They're trying to improve their ways to have their equipment being monitored in an efficient way. The idea is let this technology work for you, not work for the technology, which sometimes happens in a more walk around type system. Dave?
Yeah, absolutely. And, on the technology side of things, I think one thing that's really interesting is that the individual parts of the technology and the components that make up a wireless vibration sensor or system, those technologies have actually been around for the past 2 decades. Now, that's not to say that they haven't improved quite dramatically over that time. But what people are really starting to do is bring those technologies together in a really effective way. And the customers are starting to build confidence in the technology. So the barriers that might have been there before, the adoption barriers for the companies, and those could be around security, just having data in the cloud, the reliability of wireless and battery-based products. Those barriers are slowly being broken down, and that's why we're seeing larger organizations now adopting wireless as part of their whole condition monitoring program. And alongside that is also driving an improvement in the technology itself. So it's self-fulfilling in some ways.
Yes, we couldn't agree here more with CBM Connect. We're seeing this, industry and everything change daily, and going in the wireless revolution and, space and condition monitoring is very much what a lot of companies are going to. So what are the considerations when it comes to wireless sensing?
Sure. I'll get this one, Alex. I would say probably the big one that a lot of people will want to consider first is battery life. And that's because if you're going to make something wireless, there's no wires going to it for either data communication or power. So you have to power it using a built-in battery. And there's a number of things driving the improvements in battery technology, not least mobile phones, cars, and we're actually able to get better battery life off the back of those improvements in technology. But what customers really need to understand is, what are they getting for the advertised battery life? Is it enough to actually assess the ongoing health of their machinery? And what I mean by that is the data they're actually getting out, is it relative, or is it akin to actually typical vibration sensors? So is your sampling frequency, your resolution, your range, your vibration range, is it all what you need to actually get the data out at the advertised battery life? And when you're thinking about these things as well, with battery technology or new different sensing technologies, you need to think about the ease of installation and the ease of maintenance. No one wants to spend a lot of time maintaining their maintenance equipment. It should, all that time and effort should really go into maintaining the producing equipment, the equipment that you're there to actually look after. The other thing that I always am quite passionate about, being an engineer and with a data science background, is how the data is presented to the customer. Unless you can quickly and adequately sort and sift through all that data, then the quality of information that you get out is going to be limited. So look for the whole package as a whole when it comes to wireless sensing, not just a really high quality sensor that has a good battery life, but it has decent range from a wireless point of view, and that the how the data is actually presented to you is in a way that you would expect.
Now, as we're talking about wireless technology here, how does an existing condition monitoring program really benefit from wireless technology?
David, I'll chime in on this one. Most condition monitoring programs, normally will have an expert or a one or two man team. Having the capability of having wireless frees up that expert to do other sort of tasks, especially in this day and age where, we're limited with personnel, we're limited with talent as well. As I've mentioned previously in question number one, let the system work for me. If I have a system that is monitoring my assets, that I have no redundancy, or I got to make sure that this, I don't want to be on call 24/7 to take care of a piece of equipment, that this machine is being monitored. And I have an easy way of looking at it, let it be remotely or from a PC based. That's what helps, right? Most programs need a balance, right? Just like they have different types of technologies, different types of pillars that are there. So,
yeah, and just to sort of back that point up, I've definitely seen that where a vibration analyst can now put a sensor on a machine that they suspect of being a bad actor, they can leave that there, and they can go and they can collect data semi-continuously and come back and look at it at the end of the day, at the end of the week, at their leisure, whilst they with all that confidence, knowing that the data is actually being captured that they need. Whereas previously, I guess they would have had to go out and capture that data every day. So now they just have that additional time freed up to maybe even look at other subsystems that are part of that bad actor machine. So there's a lot more time availability off the back of wireless condition monitoring systems. And I'm sure, Alex, you've seen that where you've put in these additional systems. They just all form, I think you said it before, the many pillars of a condition monitoring program.
Correct. Every program should have a something of some sort of sensing technology, let it be wireless, as well as many other pillars, as I like to use in my terminology. Just like any other industry, pressure sensors, ultrasound, vibration, etc. This is just one of the many technologies that most programs need to have.
Yeah.
Well, as we talked about the pillars and more technologies, I know AI is becoming a little bit well-known and bigger, and some people are leery of it and other people really understand. But how does this fit, or AI fit into condition monitoring and the wireless sensors?
Yeah, so I guess where it's a natural evolution of wireless technology is because you're gathering so much data. A lot of people are thinking, well, lots of data, it either equals something to do with big data or AI, but they can't really make the link and actually see where the benefit is there. But I would actually go somewhat further than that and say that AI, or artificial intelligence, is actually somewhat of a misnomer in the context of condition monitoring, in that there's very little artificial about the machine learning techniques that can actually be applied to machine health. And I believe a much better term is automated intelligence. So that's where the data is actually being processed automatically against either a known set of fault conditions, or you are correctly analyzing trends, increasing, decreasing, to see what's happening with the machine. And really what you're doing with that automated intelligence is giving a better level of information to someone to help speed up the decision-making process, or speed up the reporting process, as it were, for a lot of condition monitoring experts and vibration analysts. So that's where I've seen the best offerings in the space actually focus their attention, is in helping those existing experts make better decisions or quicker decisions by focusing their attention. Now, I will frame that with the fact that data science is still a rapidly developing field, and the quality of the predictions will definitely improve over time related to machine health. But that requires a lot of data, and it requires a lot of expertise labeling and qualifying that data to actually get some real good quality output from that. So I think AI is a really good technology, but think about it more from an automated intelligence point of view than an artificial intelligence point of view.
Great, thank you. Thank you for going a little bit more into AI with the automated intelligence. Pretty good just to hear a different opinion on that, because it seems everybody views it a little bit different now. So and I would even go so far as to say that there is quite a bit of hesitation around AI. Sometimes people, I don't know if they imagine the Terminator or something like that, but it's a lot of things are using this technology to really enhance the output of a system. And it may just be a 10 or 20% enhancement over the raw data, but that actually can be enough to save a huge amount of time and effort. And that's where you're going to see the improvements start and continue to develop. Thank you. So what is really next for wireless condition monitoring?
Sure. I'll start, Alex, and then you can chime in if you've anything else to add. I think the market's really starting to mature at the moment, partially actually due to the past 3 years, how the pandemic has impacted us all and impacted different companies around the world. We're seeing a lot more work from home policies on a global scale. And that's driving a lot more remote solutions, or the need for remote solutions. And so you can immediately see how having your data available on the cloud, whether that's from a wireless sensor or a wired sensor, just having the data available on the cloud and being able to access that sitting, you could be sitting on your couch, you could be sitting in Miami or Belfast, where I am, looking at the same site, looking at the same data and being able to do the same analysis. So that's really helped get drive the market forward and mature the market. And I think that's really excellent for the industry, because you're now starting to see a number of higher quality entries into that space, giving customers more choice, and everyone benefits whenever the customers are getting more choice in an industry. I would actually go a bit further on that point and just say that wireless technology itself is actually developing very rapidly. So you can actually expect to see quite an improvement in range and power consumption over the next 5 years. And some of that may be driven through hardware improvements. Some of it may be driven through software improvements that you can just download to existing kit. But there's more opportunities then for solutions that maybe don't work today or maybe didn't work last year that actually will be able to utilize wireless technology in the near future. I'm sure, Alex, you've seen Lots of cases of that.
Yeah, and then there's other technologies that are rapidly going to be developed in a short time frame. I can see, for example, different pillars in industry, right? I can see wireless technology and ultrasound sensors and other capabilities of oil analysis type sensing technology, not having to ship it out to a lab. We're living in a revolution right now, so things will happen quickly, especially at the fact that industry is changing rapidly.
Yeah, and we're hearing a lot more need from our customers across the globe for different ways of accessing that data. It's been very interesting, actually. A lot of wireless sensors started off with cloud connectivity, so the data would be uploaded to the cloud, and that's how you would access the data. But actually, the need now for either deeper integration through APIs or through other protocols to capture that data and allow people to pull it into their own systems is becoming a bigger need for condition monitoring as a whole. But also on-premise solutions that might connect to PLC hardware. We're seeing a lot more integrations in and around that area too, we see it as a real positive because it allows maybe industries that are hesitant to get into condition monitoring. It allows them to access the wireless aspect of it quite easily and pull that data out and use that data however they wish. And Alex, I suppose from your point of view, you've seen lots of customers. Some are really positive about cloud, some are a bit more cautious.
Yeah, I mean, it's still a little bit of a shock, right? Is my data sitting out in the cloud, security protocols? But as David mentioned earlier, the confidence security in this concept is there, right? But the ability to also have different protocols of communication that are out there now, they're more of the modern way. As David mentioned, sending this API way or other forms of communication that are common to have the customers can have their own data in-house, right? Not having to sit on someone else's cloud is kind of what we see in the future and in a very short-term future.
Yeah. And it's all these technologies, they're adding real value for customers. Customers are actually getting the value back, in based on their investment that they've put into these systems. But I think one often overlooked fact is the more efficient that you can make machines actually improves a lot just outside pure cost. Electricity prices are going up, yes, but there's obviously a role there to improve the efficiencies of machines in fighting things like climate change, but really just overall sustainability of systems and existing systems and keeping them going for longer. Everyone's a winner as long as that improves.
Great. Thank you, guys. Just to wrap things up a bit here today, if anybody would like to get in touch with you guys, to talk more about wireless revolution or, just the wireless technology in general, how could they reach out to you?
You can reach me, Alex, at alex.nino@ludeca.com, but you can follow me on LinkedIn, which I highly recommend. I always like to have people connect with me on LinkedIn. We can have that chat and we can connect with David as well. So David, how would they contact you?
Yeah, I would generally say the best way to make sure that you're getting contact from Sensoteq is if you use the contact form on our website, sensoteq.com. You can make sure that either myself or one of the sales team will get back to you pretty quickly, or through Alex.
Thank you both, David and Alex, for your time here today.
Thank you. Thank you guys for having us.
Thank you very much.